Aloha, everybody, and welcome to Spirit Chat Radio. This is Jennifer O'Neill, and it's been a little while, so I'm going to try to get more active in my podcasting again. Glad to have you back. So I've been having a lot of questions lately about how to keep your vibration high in times of stress or when there's things going on in the world that's making you feel like there's all this bad stuff happening. And they want to know, basically, how can I feel good if all this negativity is going on around me or in the world? What do I do? How do I keep my vibration high? And so I thought that was a very good question. And I thought it would be a good question to do a podcast on. So one of the things I wanted to talk about was, first of all, there's always bad things going on in the world. There's always bad things going on around you. Sometimes, every now and again, these bad things will get caught on video or whatever, and they will be put on the news and they will be blasted out everywhere. And it can have an effect on you. It can make you feel, your heart goes out to these people. You feel just so emotional and moved that it can really put you in a sad place. And that is very okay that you're feeling sad at that moment and you're feeling upset about something. But you can't stay in that place. So it is very important for you to recognize that it is, of course, it's good to be in that sad place for a minute and feel for those people. But you cannot stay there. It doesn't help anybody. It doesn't help those people. It doesn't help you. It doesn't help keep your vibration high. So it can affect your life if you get very consumed into these things that are happening, whether they're national or whether there's something that happened locally or something that happened to somebody, a friend, or just people being upset or just people complaining or having about negative things happening in their own specific life. And so what do? If you want to move forward in the manner that you really feel moved to do something, that's one thing. So there's either feeling compelled to move forward and be active about something that made you feel bad. That is one way to do it. The other way is complain or stress your opinion to all your friends, family, social media outlets, and everything, and constantly just get wrapped up in the drama of what most people do, which is they dramatically state their opinion on every platform that they can possibly announce their opinion on, and they also state it to all their friends, and then they want to have debate about it. That really doesn't do anything. That's not helpful to anybody. It's not helpful to anything that you've seen. It's not helpful to the people around you. That basically is being non-active. So if you're compelled to do something when you see something like this, more power to you. Fantastic. I support it 100%. But if you're feeling compelled, be active. Donate money to different causes or people, whether, like I said, it's friends or family, or whether it's something more on a national level. You can donate money. You can start a GoFundMe account. You can get actively involved in some type of passing a law or a bill. That's really important, and it's fantastic when people get involved in that. You can organize a rally even, or do something where you're organizing the local community or organizing a rally in that area of whatever happens. That's also being active. So don't fall into the drama of everything unless you're going to be active in taking part in making a difference. Like I said, there's a difference between being active and then just aggressively expressing your opinion, because that just doesn't do anything, you guys. Aggressively expressing your opinion to friends, family, over dinner, social media outlets, it just doesn't do anything. It brings other people's vibration down. It breeds a lot of anger. It's not being proactive, Things are going to happen. They're not going to stop now. It's not. This current time of our life is not where negative things just started happening. They've been going on for hundreds of thousands of years. The way we learn about them is different now than it was hundreds of thousands of years ago, or even hundreds or 50 years ago. But it still remains the same. Bad things will happen. They will continue to happen. It's how you handle them and how you allow it to affect your life and others people's lives that's going to be the difference to your vibration. And so what do I suggest you do? I suggest a couple different things. One is choose if you're going to be active, or if that's not part of what you can do at the moment or want to do at the moment, that's also fine. And if you're going to choose not to be active in that, then you have some other things that you need to do. One of the first things I would suggest is being more aware that, and being more educated on awareness, which is basically, again, bad things have happened for hundreds of thousands of years. They're going to continue to happen. It is part of our existence. But you want to be very careful of what avenues that you hear things from, and you want to be careful about what comes into the conduit of your vibration, what comes into your energy field. And so you want to be more protective of that, especially at this day and age, especially as you're learning to, if you're beginning to learn to raise your vibration and keep your vibration high so that you can be the best that you can be and you can be more spiritually aware, then then this is really important to you. One of the things I suggest is never watching the news. I don't watch the news. I haven't watched it. I know you guys have probably heard me talk about this. I haven't watched the news in 10, 15 years. The reason I don't watch the news is because several different reasons. One is it's basically censored, so you will only hear and see certain things depending on the news that you're watching or listening to or reading about. And so I don't think that that's very fair. The other thing is the only news that sells is, unfortunately, bad news. Bad news is what sells. A lot of people on this earth are really trained and they're more geared towards a lower vibration. And so with that comes an excitement when people start really debating and hearing about negativity, talking about negative things, and like they start getting passionately in arguments. That feeling that they get inside when you're of lower vibration, that feeling of excitement, or that feeling in your chest is the same feeling that people get when they feel excited about something. So only it's in a negative way, or it can be in a positive way. But lower vibration people, they feed off that feeling in their chest. And so they really want to get involved in a lot of the drama. And so watching the news, that's why bad news sells. That's why negative things sell. If you put positive things on the news, it just doesn't sell. So people they want to know what bad's going on in the world. So that's why I don't watch the news. I think it's very misleading. It's especially for one bad thing that they show on there, 100 bad things more happen. But guess what? 100 good things happen that they never showed. Like hundreds and hundreds of good things happen. I talk to people about this all the time. It's funny to me, or amazing to me, that people just think the world is basically going to, going in this really bad direction when there's so many good things going on in the world on a daily basis that they never ever show. There's so many lives being saved, and there's so many people that are doing good things and raising charities and discovering new medical things and helping people in third world countries, or helping the kids in their neighborhood, or bringing after school programs together, adopting pets. Sometimes you hear about like pets being abused, but what about all the people that saved abused pets? What about those? Like, you don't hear about that. What about the people that go to the shelter and adopt? And what about all the amazing pet owners out there? What about those lives? Like, you don't get to hear about how amazing that those lives are of those pets, because we tend to focus on the ones that are not so good, because nobody cares if that pet's being well cared for, then great, we don't need to worry about that, so then they go off onto something else. So anyways, to sum that up, I think that news is very censored and it's very geared. It's basically the target market for the news is lower vibration people, I believe. I feel like they really want to hit that chord. They want to strike that chord with people, so they really gear up and manipulate words and different things and try to do that. Now, that's not all true. There are some things that they just want, that some news stations or news articles or whatever want to make people aware of. And when they bring awareness to something, things change. Bills are passed. People are held accountable for things. There's awareness brought to a certain subject. There's awareness brought to a certain issue or problem in a specific area. So, without being aware, change can't happen. So there are some good things that happen on there, but again, I'm just not a fan of the news. It's not something that I want to spend my time with. Second thing that somebody brought to my attention that I also would like to bring to your attention is, I don't think people realize what social media, how bad that some social media outlets have become with complaining or with very dramatic behavior, or especially when things that if there's something in the spotlight that happens on the news, people just get all crazy on social media. Unfortunately, Facebook is a really bad place for that. Now, those of you who follow me know or should know that I do have a Facebook group called the Higher Purpose Learning Group. I also have a Facebook page under Jennifer O'Neill. And if we're not friends, I've hit my friend limit, so you can go ahead and follow me. But so I do have a Facebook account. I do have Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat. I have the whole 9 yards. I use my Facebook platform to teach. I never scroll through my news feed. Ever, ever, ever. In fact, people will ask me, I have friends and family, because I do have friends and family that are on Facebook, and they'll say, oh, did you see so-and-so was doing something, or did you see that they posted a, picture or whatever, and I'll be it surprises me and makes me laugh now, because I'll just look at them like, really? We all know I don't look through the news feeds on Facebook. Just tell me what you're talking about, because I just don't. I feel like a couple of different things. One, there's way too much complaining going on Facebook, and the amount of complaining going on Facebook blows my mind, because the amount of things that you could do that's being productive if you weren't on there writing that post is astronomical. Like if all those people just took that time and invested that time into doing something positive, or not even just positive, just did something that they were passionate about, their whole lives would change. It would be absolutely amazing. Twitter doesn't seem to be as bad, because you're obviously limited to 140 characters. Instagram's more about like just beautiful pictures. So unfortunately, Facebook wins the worst drama, social media award, and I would be very careful about scrolling through your news feeds on Facebook. So the other thing that you want to be aware of is, even if you're not on Facebook reading through the news feeds, if you decide that, I really want to keep my vibration as high as possible, it's really important to me. I feel good when my vibration's raised, and I really want to learn how not to let these things affect me. And you've decided not to watch the news, and you've decided to, or if you do hear of news, you decide that if you feel bad or whatever, you'll be proactive instead of just feeling bad about it, or being dramatic about it. So you've not watching the news, and then you decided, okay, I'm not going to scroll through the bad news feeds of Facebook or whatever, or maybe you just scroll through the family and friends that are not cranky. Then the next thing you really need to be aware of is the friends and family that you hang out with, or friends, family, colleagues, workers. You really want to be aware of what those people are talking about, discussing, and bringing into your life as far as, any type of communication when you're around them. Because even though that if you cut out the news and you cut out the Facebook stuff and you really try to keep your vibration raised, if there is an event that seems to be on all the news channels, or there is something that happens in a negative light in the world, or something that seems to be very talked about at that time, you'll begin to notice, even if you didn't see it, your friends or family or colleagues will become very engrossed in talking about it. They will be very engrossed in debating about it. They'll be very obsessed with stating their opinion about it. And that's always interesting to me because that's all they're doing is they're just basically arguing their opinion, which may slightly differ, but nobody's being proactive. They're just taking all this time and being heated about an opinion about an event that they're not directly related to, but they're not going to be proactive in changing. And so that brings people's vibrations down. It makes people feel angry inside. It makes your vibration not be high. It lowers it. It lowers the vibration of the people around you listening to you stating your opinion. So you want to be really careful with friends, family, colleagues who are in your life at that point in time that are getting very dramatic and heated debates about things such as big things or even local things, or just even if something happened at your work and they get very dramatic or very obsessive about talking about it. They really want to get into the nuts and bolts and stating their opinion about it. If there's nothing that's going to change and all it is stating an opinion, you want to be careful and limit your time with those people. You also want to not just limit your time with them. If you need to be with them, let's say you work with them, or let's say they're a very close family member, or you're at a family gathering or something, change the subject. A lot of times it's so easy to just be like, oh, I'll be right back. I need to run to the restroom. I want to grab a sandwich. I want to, I need to check something real quick on my voicemail. I need to, anything. You can remove yourself for 2 seconds, which usually breaks that debated pattern. That's one thing that you can do if you're going to be around these people. The second thing that you could do is you could also just change the subject. Sometimes the subject can be changed very easily. But if you feel like the subject's too heated to be changed, then just remove yourself and then just kind of don't go back to that area until it changes a little bit, or maybe it's just time to leave at that point, or you can see what I'm saying. So it's easy just to remove yourself, change the subject, or not be around those people if it's something where you don't have to be subjected to those people and you're not comfortable. So in order to keep your vibration raised, you want to be very aware of the people that are in your life and what subjects they get consumed about, and what type of communication that you guys are having when you're around each other. That highly affects your vibration. And so the other thing you want to be very present in your own environment, your own personal space in your own environment. And so you want to really be aware of, it's interesting to me that people get so wrapped up in things that are happening states away, but that they are not being present of what's happening in their household or in their immediate life or their immediate work environment. And so those are things that are really important that you can do things about. You really have a choice, and you can really be very effective and active immediately in changing things in your own environment and things very locally to your home or your house or your city, or just very locally. So you have a lot of power in what's going on within your vicinity around you. You have so much power to change and create positive vibes going on in your immediate environment. So you want to be very, very present and aware of what's happening in your immediate environment. And you want to when you're aware, then you want to make change or make choices that keep that vibration high. Same type of stuff. What's causing me stress? What's making me feel bad? What is causing my vibration to go down? And then you want to figure out what all those things are. And then you want to filter through that and go, okay, so what can I do? What choices can I make to eliminate these things from bringing my vibration down? What people can I lessen my contact with? What people do I really not need to have any contact with? What different choices can I make personally that make me feel better every single day? Because here's the thing, guys. Self-care is like priority number one, super important. I cannot stress enough how important self-care is when you're keeping your vibration high. It is the first, it should be the first and the only focus for a half a minute. I mean, of course, if you have kids and all that, you want to weigh that into the equation, but Think about this. If you don't keep yourself in a healthy, happy, positive light, you affect also. People don't just affect you. You affect people. You affect your kids. You affect your parents. You affect your spouse. You are radiating just as much of an energetic vibe as those radiating upon you. Hugely important. Take responsibility for what energetic vibe, what vibration are you sending out to the world? What vibration are you sending out to your immediate friends and family? What are you doing to their vibration? Are you raising it? Are you lowering it? What are you doing to affect others? And self-care is extremely, extremely important. And it's the one thing that you just have immediate success with, or not so much success. And it's something that affects a lot of people. So that's the first thing that you want to do. You want to learn to keep that vibration high, and you want to learn that you have a huge a ripple effect, a ripple effect across everybody that touches your life. You also have that on them. So you want to do your best to keep it high so that when you're passing out your own energetic vibe and affecting other people's vibration, that you're not pulling them down as well. But most importantly, keep your vibration high. That'll affect your kids, your spouse, everything. And you really need to do that before that you try to tackle anybody else's problems. You want to be making sure that it's kind of like the oxygen mask thing that they always talk about if you go on the airplane, where save yourself before you save others. You really want to make sure that you're doing the best thing you can do, starting with number one. Then if you've learned to keep that at a consistently good level, and you're learning to be aware of when it goes down and just monitor it and being able to keep it at your best level you can, then you can start trying to help others around or tackle more world issues and bigger things. But it really starts with yourself. That's super, super important. And then the last thing that I really want people to be aware of, again, we talked about this a little bit in the beginning, but I cannot tell you how many really cool things that are going on in the world today. Like, there are some just amazing strides. There are, even with this dimensional shift that we talk about, or that I've been talking about on my Facebook page and on my Facebook group, there are so many incredible things happening. We are living in this most amazing time. We are living in a time of people really developing on a spiritual level. They're really becoming more spiritual aware. And in the long run, you guys, that's going to make a huge difference in a positive light, like in the world. You're going to see a lot of cool things happen. But there are cool things happening. There's cool things happening every day. And so you want to remember that. After you want to start with self-care, you want to go back and remember, you know what though? What's happened good in your life around you? Who do you know just helped a stranger? Who do you know? And if you don't know anybody, you can help a stranger. You can help somebody in need. You can spread love. You can, be kind to when you go to the checkout counter. Be kind to somebody who needs help carrying their groceries to their car, who's maybe older than you. Be kind to pets. You can spread love and know that there are other really good people in the world. And I know that you've probably had something happen in your life at some point or another that you can remember. Remember that you were having a bad day, or somebody was being kind, or it was funny. My son-in-law the other day actually went into a store when I was having this conversation with some people who were saying, how do I keep my vibration high? And I was like, you don't even realize though, all these amazing good things happen. And we started talking about it. And I was saying, like, what things have happened with your neighbors or friends or family that they just talked about that was really good. And it was funny, that same day, my son-in-law had went to the Chevron store, gas station that was near here, and he was buying something. There was this little kid that was counting out all of his change on the counter. And he asked him, what are you counting out your change for? And he says, I'm trying to buy an icy. And he said, well, don't count out your change. He's kind of laughing because he has like a lot of pennies and nickels and things. And he goes, I'll buy you an icy. And he's like, really? And he said, yeah, just pick out an icy. And he's like, well, you don't have to. He said, no, definitely pick one out. And so he picked out the smallest icy that they had. And he said, pick out a bigger icy. You know, I'm happy to buy you an icy. And this kid was so thrilled. It was really hot that day. He had probably picked up pennies from God knows where, but it just made his day. You know, you can be kind to others, and if you don't have, a couple dollars to do something, then you have time, or you can donate things. You can just being kind to somebody who needs you to be kind to them that day can change somebody's world. I mean, it really, really can. And you have to remember the power that you hold over affecting people's lives that you run into every day, that you talk to, that, like, if you think of all the people, if you go to the supermarket or the gym or everywhere that you go, not just friends or family, I'm telling you, it makes a huge difference. Anybody who's ever been in customer service, if somebody's very kind to them, you will know what I'm talking about. It really, you can feel the energy from that person. You can feel the love, and it just makes your day. It can make you smile. It's really amazing. And so keep in mind all of these things. No news. Try not to watch the news, or these are what I suggest because I personally do these, and I know that it works really well. No news. Be very careful about going through your Facebook feeds or your social media stuff, because I'm telling you, that's no better than the news. It's crazy. Be present in your own environment and what's going on locally and in your own house and in your own work. And understand that self-care is incredibly, incredibly important. It's where you have so much power. It's where you have the absolute most power. It's where you are affecting other people. Other people, not just friends and family, but it radiates from there. It's so important to just keep your vibration high, because you have a huge impact on the world. You really, really do. You're just as important as all the other people out there. And be aware of the positive things going on, change your mindset, look for that, be kind to others, be part of that movement, be part of the movement of all the cool, good things happening in the world. And truthfully, I mean, this is going to sound weird, but if there wasn't bad things that happen, basically that's why we come down and incarnate. We come down to learn and to grow and to experience negativity. It's something that we are here for. But if there weren't bad things that actually did happen, change wouldn't happen either. Things wouldn't get better or be changed. And it's really important for us to have change. And unfortunately, sometimes that happens with bad things happening. So the result of a lot of bad things is actually positive things. And that's another thing that people forget, is when they're hearing about all these bad things, they never go hear about the bill that got passed or the law that got passed or how it prevented like a whole bunch of other things from happening because awareness was brought then and there. And so they forget because nobody cares about that news, so that's not on the news. And before we wrap up, guys, I wanted to let you know that I did start my online psychic ability and intuition class. It's going to be starting, well, I didn't start it. I got the registration out, and it will be starting on August 1st. So if you haven't checked into that or seen anything about it, if you're not on my Facebook or any of that stuff, then you can go to keystothespiritworld.com, and there's a button that says classes. You can click on there. It can go to the registration thing. It's really important. If you're interested in, I'm doing these spirit chats videos also, you guys. So it's similar to a radio show, but I will do live Q&A questions, and that is really fun. So if you want to be more involved in the spirit chat, you can and actually ask me live Q&A questions as I do a live streaming video, definitely go to my Facebook page. I'm pretty sure you can find that from keys-to-the-spirit-world.com also, but it's Jennifer O'Neill on Facebook, and you can follow me because I also do the live streaming on my regular ones, but I also have a higher purpose learning group you can also find from my keys-to-the-spirit-world.com page, and that is being redone. I'm super excited about that, you guys, because this actually fits into this show, but I will be doing I thought it was going to be 30 days. I posted 30, but it's probably going to be more like a 28-day awareness challenge to help you raise your vibration. And so that's going to be something really cool. And we're going to be doing that with the launch of my new Keys to the Spirit World website, which I'm super excited about. So keep checking back on Keys to the Spirit World. Definitely, if you want to join the video chats, go to my Facebook pages, which I think you can get there through Keys to the Spirit World. Definitely check in there, and we can do questions. But lastly, that class registration, I think, ends July 23rd. So if you're interested in classes, that's going to be really awesome. Make sure that you go over there and register soon. I'm super excited about that. That's going to be fun. So until next time, keep your vibration high. Love you guys, and we will see you soon. Aloha.
Looking for excitement? Chumba Casino is here. Play anytime, play anywhere. Play on the train, play at the store, play at home, play when you're bored. Play today for your chance to win and get daily bonuses when you log in. So what are you waiting for? Don't delay. Chumba Casino is free to play.
Experience social gameplay like never before. Go to Chumba Casino right now to play hundreds of games, including online slots, bingo, Slingo, and more. Live the Chumba life at ChumbaCasino.com. VGW Group. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. See terms and conditions. 18+.
Black Friday is coming, and for the adults in your life who love the coolest toys, well, there's something for them this year too. Bartesian is the premier craft cocktail maker that automatically makes more than 60 seasonal and classic cocktails, each in under 30 seconds at the push of a button. And right now, Bartesian is having a huge site-wide sale. You can get $100 off any cocktail maker or cocktail maker bundle when you spend $400 or more. So, if the cocktail lover in your life has been good this year, or the right kind of bad, get them Bartesian. At the push of a button, make bar-quality cosmopolitans, martinis, Manhattans, and more. All in just 30 seconds. All for $100 off. Amazing toys aren't just for kids. Get $100 off a cocktail maker when you spend $400 through Cyber Monday. Visit bartesian.com/cocktail. That's BARTESIAN.com/cocktail.